Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Cape Time. We are here to review the finale of WandaVision, and man, oh man, there were mixed feelings. Tom, how you doing, brother?
I'm well. Just doing my thing. Uh, yeah. It was quite a weekend, and yeah. Now we're about to talk about the finale to WandaVision,
Yeah.
and yeah, like you said, uh, this was an episode that definitely has garnered a hell of a reaction.
Oh yeah, it's quite a reaction, all right. Oh no,
So
two different sides of the spectrum, man. And for me, I'm gonna give a very honest review. On first watch, I couldn't have been more pissed. Like, I was fuming. I was ready to throw shit. I was mad. I just felt like I got cheated out of something. It was not good. And then second watch, which was actually yesterday, I liked it more, but I still have my issues with it. It was not perfect by any means, but I'll say it was a good finale for the characters of Wanda and Vision. It was great in that regard, but the rest kind of did fall flat, and that's just being honest. And part of it, I understand now because of the interview with the director. It COVID certainly had a role here because there were important scenes that got cut that included Evan Peters and Monica Rambeau. So, I get it. It's just I would have rather had them delay a little bit longer if it meant letting their vision actually come to life, because that matters more than getting it out sooner.
yeah, I think overall the general ending was kept in place. I think the main thing was that some side plots got like kind of pushed to the side,
Yeah,
literally.
that's my point. Like,
Yeah,
I don't even mean just Evan Peters, like Darcy.
yeah.
Her
I think
arc,
like
that was the incomplete entirely. I mean, Monica Rambeau also clearly, she should have been in the episode more, and you can tell she was going to be just by the way the scenes were. Like, you can tell there were gaps that were
mhm.
clearly just not being filled there. So I'm not gonna blame the team at WandaVision, but regardless, it's still an issue in the narrative, though.
Yeah, yeah. For sure. This last episode definitely feels the most incomplete. Sometimes, like there are certain like you said, it feels like there are some stuff missing. And it definitely feels like the episode that, did get impacted by COVID.
I mean,
Uh,
Strange got cut from the freaking finale.
yeah, so it is what it is. I don't think, uh, I don't think the scenes that were necessarily cut were like the most important scenes, but to like kind of round off the
I
side
honestly
characters'
don't know.
arcs.
Like, I just don't know because I remember when we heard that Strange was in WandaVision. I think they said he was there on set for like 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, he could have done a decent amount of filming in that time. I mean, he probably did. I mean, he might have had a decent role in that finale, honestly, that we don't even know about. I mean,
Mm.
that's wild to think. I mean, because I personally, I needed Strange in that finale. I think he was a necessary part personally. I think his role made sense in every possible sense of the word. It would have been just, in general, after all the hype too, we needed something else. We needed a little something. And even Strange, that wouldn't have satisfied a lot of fans. It would have satisfied me, though, personally at least.
Mm. Yeah, I was just expecting it, and so when it didn't
Yeah, me
happen,
too. I
I
was like,
was
what?
I was like, oh, wow.
Like,
Yeah,
I expected him in the after credit scenes when the episode finished. I was like,
yeah.
okay,
It's
it's
just
gotta
like,
be there, right?
nope. Usually, the good thing is like Marvel, when they cut something, they like usually like repurpose what they're gonna do with those scenes. So like they find a way to like use it for something else. So
That's what it was. Like if
so
it was
like
if it was him fighting with them, then that's never gonna be used. But
yeah, but like it's possible that like if it's just like if they have like if they shot like a quicker cameo or something, or just the scene between him and Wanda, I think they could like start that in Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness,
I
something
mean,
like that. They
the
can
end
just
credit scene was probably from Multiverse of Madness. I mean, the final one, it was pretty clear to me, at least.
That's
I
very
mean,
possible.
it was so Evil Dead in the filming style of that, and honestly, just even taking that out of the equation, just the filming style itself does not look like something the director of WandaVision would do. Like, it's not his style, not even
Mm.
a little bit. So, if I had to guess, that was totally Sam Raimi, and they were doing work on episode 9 up until like the last second, quite literally. Like, they were doing finishing touches the week before. So some of these scenes that didn't make it literally could have got cut at like the last second, quite literally.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we said, this episode definitely has stuff that got caught
I
and
mean,
shit.
it was supposed to be 10 episodes originally.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think most shows go through changes. It's unfortunate that with COVID,
It was not a
it,
wanted change, so it's different.
yeah, it's just like oh shit. But there's still a lot of good in this episode. I mean, like you said, the action stuff is all fun. It's fun to see Catherine Hahn as Agatha Harkness. That was really uh, a fun thing. Uh, but I do wish we had another episode with her, and I just wish we had more time. So that extra episode would have helped. I thought they were gonna. I thought after episode 8 that this was gonna be paced a lot better. But looking back, I think we could have just used like that one extra episode to really uh, reestablish ourselves with those other side characters, find out where they are. Uh, you know, but we did not get that, unfortunately.
And
Uh,
there are quite a few issues. I mean, I'll just say this now. The Evan Peters thing was the worst thing Marvel has ever done. I'm going to be honest. It's the worst thing they have done. And I don't think anyone could disprove that. It literally meant nothing. It's not even just, oh, the theory didn't, come to life. That's a totally different thing. It's just it meant literally nothing. He was Ralph Boner. He was a random guy that had no connection to anything. He just happened to live in the town and was given Quicksilver's powers from Agatha's magic. And that's the laziest piece of writing I've ever seen. And that's me being honest. Like, that really hurt the episode for me, because not even the episode, hurt the series for me, because the Ralph and Evan Peters were two very important parts of the show that were being built up quite a bit, and they both fell entirely flat. And they knew what they were doing the whole time in terms of the tease. Like, they're not stupid. They knew, and that makes it equally as bad for me, and if worse rather, for me. So yeah, that sucked.
I wouldn't have done it, but I also understand the point of the show was to like trick the
I
audience,
think that's
on
a
a week.
lazy excuse, honestly. I think
But
it's pretty.
like, I think it kind of was just you don't do that when like you're bringing a fan favorite actor back to presumably play the character that he played before, and everyone loved that version. It's not a good idea to not have him be that version, and then on top of that, make a dick joke, no matter how funny the dick joke is.
Even
Uh,
so, it's just if he was literally had any substance as a character, I could have at least not even got on board with it, but I could have respected it. I can't respect it when it had no overall meaning. It was nothing.
yeah, just it was just played for a joke, and I don't
Exactly.
I don't like I don't like that part for sure. I just wouldn't have done it. I think it was just kind of dumb, but like that's really what I can say about that. It was just dumb. It was like really, really, this is what we went with.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I can't give the series a 10 out of 10 like I actually thought I was going to
Yeah.
after the last episode. Like that's where I thought I was going to be heading. I thought it was going to be that good of a finale, but I can't give it the 10 out of 10 I hope for. But it's all right. It's still a really good show, like we said, and I enjoyed it. I really did. And I'd say one of the other issues for me would have to be Hayward's character, although I get the point is he's not really meant to be a deep villain, which I get, but like some of the stuff there was just kind of weird. Like he low key, we've said that I've said this at least. He was kind of why was there's barely a real reason for him to be arrested, honestly, when you think about it. He was trying to save a town full of people that were being controlled by a freaking witch.
He violated the Sokovia Accords.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, like.
So that's enough to get suspended right there.
It was just a little. It was a little stupid. It was a little stupid, to me at least. Like, we're seriously not. Like, if you're Jimmy Woo, even from his perspective, does he? Even though I understand he knows Wanda better than everyone else, of course, and even he doesn't know her great, but you're telling me he didn't at least kind of get on board with the idea of we gotta stop this bitch because like she was literally controlling this entire town, and in the end she suffers no consequences really.
Well, I mean, she did have to get rid of her fake life, so and like that was.
I mean, she's gonna get her kids back. We all know it.
I think there's gonna be like a twist to like getting her kids back. Like maybe they're not.
I don't know, but
as we remember them.
She's definitely going to get them back, and we already have Vision back, which actually was something I liked in the episode, although at first I was like, it's a little lazy maybe, but in the end it was done very well, and the whole interaction between the two Visions was excellent. Like the dialogue was so good. I was really into that, and if you're going to bring Vision back, I would say that was probably the best way you could have done it personally.
Yeah, the thing that saves this episode for me is like Wanda and Vision.
Yeah.
WandaVision.
Oh, totally. They were the
best parts of the show. In the final part of the show, those are the two characters that we needed to care about the most. So like for them to get good endings is enough to satisfy me for now. And just don't make any more Ralph boners. I really hope they retcon it. I'm not one of those people that goes out and asks for retcons and shit because I'm not a man baby. Well, I am, but not like that. Just because like you usually want to let the creators create. But in this instance, I would hope that once like the multiverse once the multiverse actually like rips or something, can we retcon that into like he was just like in disguise or something? Just do something other than Ralph Boner.
Ideally, yeah. I don't see it happening personally, honestly, but I hope they do because we've even heard from.
Also, yeah. you wasted Evan Peters for a dick joke.
Totally. He's also a very good actor. I mean,
exactly,
you could have gave him a really good part, even if it wasn't good.
It's like shit. Is this what we're doing?
No, I totally agree. That's a waste of a really good actor.
I really hope they bring him back. Just. Yeah.
Well, we've already heard that they're going to be playing in the Fox Universe's playground. Not like 100%, but we've heard rumors of it at least, and I do believe some of it because the reality is Marvel does want to tap into the multiverse, and they're doing that with Spider-Man 3 with the Sony characters But outside of Sony, they just have the Fox characters really from the X-Men verse. Outside of that, there's not really anything else they would tap into. So I'm pretty sure they are at some point. And Multiverse of Madness is obviously the logical place to do it. The only reason why I can possibly not see them doing it at all is if like they don't want to even give a hint or a sniff of mutants yet, even though that'd be kind of stupid because it's not like they're here to stay anyway. Like we're not getting mutants from in this world probably till sometime in 2023, 2024 probably honestly, but we can actually briefly talk about that after the episode because or rather after the review because there's a couple of things that came up in the last week with that.
Yeah, since Wanda is known for being a mutant, we can actually talk about mutants. I agree. I think I think it would have been so cool if it was you know, actually the Fox version. And I hope it's retconned into him being under some sort of control that makes that kind of a reverse twist, I guess. Just like he was under some sort of mind control, he was stuck in Westview, and he was actually Quicksilver. And yeah, just do that because like let's not do the Ralph Boner anymore. I mean, just you know, every once in a while, Marvel will do something like this that just like they go for the joke instead of, you know, probably what would work best. I don't think Ralph Boner was the thing that would work best. That worked best. But I'm over Ralph Boner. The memes and shit are funny though. If there's one thing that I'm very happy about, it's the crazy increase in WandaVision memes because of Ralph Boner. Yeah. I think it was a real boner on their part, but one man's boner is another man's treasure, I guess. Well,
Alrighty then. Well, on that note,
all right.
yeah.
But you know what I'm saying.
I mean, outside of that, I mean, the episode was very good. Outside of those two things, I mean, Agatha was really good. Catherine Hahn gave a very, very
bring her back
impactful
too.
performance.
Bring
They'll bring her back. I mean, they even set it up where they said, I'll be back. Well,
because like
Wanda
I
said I'll
feel
be
like
back.
there's so much more to learn about her and
No,
so much more.
it's not even that. It's more of Wanda wanting to learn more about magic, and I think she's going to be the one that eventually ends up helping her a bit more because the Darkhold is going to help her a lot, obviously, but having an actual teacher would go a long way as well, of course.
Mm. Yeah, they really, yeah, like in the comics, Agatha Harkness like is kind of like back and forth on being good and bad, if I remember correctly. So like,
Yeah.
bring her in. It would be funny to see her be a help instead of the villain. Yeah, just yep, right. Just bring her back. Just bring her back. And you know, the one thing that I do like about Marvel is that in their subsequent movies, they actually kind of they make previous movies better. Like they do things that really clean up certain things that people don't like about other movies, and like it's like, oh, it's cool now. So I think like any issues that we have with this episode actually could get, cleaned up a little bit in further movies. And obviously you don't want that necessarily because like you want the show to be as flawless as it can be. But like if things need a little bit of cleaning up in future movies and shows, it's not the worst thing in the world and then you just go, oh, it retroactively makes that better. Cool. Awesome. Good to see. But yeah, there really isn't too much to talk about in this episode, but we have to talk about the fact that Wanda got her Scarlet Witch costume, and she is now officially the Scarlet Witch. She has embraced her magic. I want her to be a mutant so bad.
Yeah, I mean, the outfit was really awesome. Her displaying her powers and full strength were awesome, and I'm really curious to see where it goes in Doctor Strange too, because, I mean, keep in mind she's literally stronger than Strange now. I mean, Agatha said it herself. The Scarlet Witch is stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme, which is
Doctor
Strange.
Strange.
So.
I really thought that around that scene when they're up in the
Yeah, me
air, I
too.
really thought he was gonna pop up. Doctor
That's
Strange.
literally same thing. But as soon as she said that, I was like, oh man, she name dropped him. He's coming.
Shit. I was like, oh shit, and they just never came. They just never came.
I bet you he was supposed to come around that scene. I bet you he was.
Yeah.
Bummer.
But either way, it was a great scene.
No, it was great. But
it just could have been enhanced with the involvement of Doctor Strange.
That would have taken the fight to another level. I mean,
guarantee you, if Doctor Strange popped up, this episode gets much more love.
It does. No, if he's in the episode, the
fans
scale
love cameos, man.
It's not even just that. The scale of the episode was not high enough for me, given what.
Yeah, we were kind of hoping for something bigger than it actually was, but
the reality is I usually don't get mad about that, but the cast and
it was just
show,
kind of a letdown.
They falsely advertised it. They really did. They advertised it as this huge thing. We have a cameo here. We have a cameo there. Oh, this is happening. Oh, aerospace engineer. I can't tell you about that. You're going to have to wait and see. Well, every single thing they teased was literally a disappointment. And that's not even an exaggeration. All the big plots that they said you're going to have to wait and see, none of them panned out in the way anyone hoped.
At the same time, you have to realize that, like, even if, like, the aerospace engineer was Reed Richards, it still served the same function as what it did, and that's to give them the big tank to go into the hex.
So my point is, they could have just made that clear that it was not a big thing. Because it wasn't a big thing.
But they said it to stir the pot. They know that fans love the.
No, and that's why the people behind the show are asses sometimes, because they can make some things clearer. They don't need to explicitly say everything.
They keep you coming back and they keep you talking.
That's beyond the point.
The word of mouth,
some of it was bullshit.
Yeah, but think about
it. Paul Bettany saying what he said was bullshit. No.
It's genius, because they know we're a bunch of idiots that will speculate on every little last line. So we're gonna talk about it all.
I don't care.
Over social media. Then WandaVision's gonna be trending for a whole week until the next episode comes out.
It's gonna do that regardless. The show's already a knockdown, man. I'm telling you, that alone knocks the show down.
Any viewers that are on the fence about giving the show a shot, seeing the constant amount of talk about it, is gonna make them watch it. It's gonna make them give it at least a shot. So it increases. It helps increase the viewership. Paul Bettany was being a
jackass.
Yes, Paul Bettany was. That was
a pure jackass move.
He was like, great chemistry. One for my whole life. And it's just, that's too funny. That's great.
I mean, it's funny, but that's
great. That's an all-time troll job.
It's just,
I love that.
They all were horrible with this. They all were. I'm sorry. They raised the bar that high. You didn't meet it. That's your own fucking fault. That's the God honest truth. You raised the bar. You don't meet it. No, now that I'm talking about it, I want to give the show a lower rating. Seriously, that's how much it annoys me.
It's because you're upset.
Because it's annoying. Like you don't raise the bar that high. Like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, for example. My bar is not that high. I'm not expecting these crazy connections in story. I'm just expecting a cohesive story within this smaller. Within this smaller character arc of Bucky and Falcon. With WandaVision, they set it up part of a multiverse trilogy. We have a cameo here. We have a cameo there. We have this. We're going to tease Evan Peters for no logical reason. So they raised the bar and they failed. So that's their own fault. And for that reason, I can't give any higher than an 8 out of 10. And I'd even consider a 7.5 for the show. I would.
I'm a firm 8 because, the highs were so high throughout the series. that, like, the episode 8 gave us, a really beautiful episode about
No,
Wanda's
episode 8
grief.
was great.
And I think I have to give this an 8 because, Wanda and Vision, the two main characters, are the characters that we ended up caring for the most. So
My problem with it is
I'm a firm 8.
because of Evan Peters, it also feels the episode he was in even more irrelevant for me now, and I hate it. Like, I hate that part of the episode now. If I go back and watch it, it's just annoying. And also just the fact that we always said during the show, when we went through the slower parts that were kind of we always said, oh, well, we all know what this is building towards, so it's cool. But it never built towards that thing, so it makes some of the older parts of those episodes just like we never got what we were hoping for. So it kind of makes some of that fall flat too for me. So in the end, really, that finale kind of drags down other parts of the series. So
yeah, and the finale definitely drags down my grade as well to an 8. It was my grade was like, it was in the 9s.
Like, my point is the finale hurts other episodes as well, not just the finale.
I mean, I judged each episode as an individual thing. Like,
Initially I did.
I'm not gonna punish my reviews of the previous 8 episodes because this one episode fell flat.
Well, that's my point, though. The finale actually does hurt other episodes.
Retroactively, it does. Like, now knowing what the finale is, it does.
Just in terms of, like, some of the pacing, even, because some of the pacing that, again, a lot of people didn't like. I
thought this show would be
acceptable given the ending.
Better. Yeah. So, like, I factored that into dropping my grade to an 8 out of 10 overall, in a large part due to the pacing as well.
I'll say this: if they did their original plan that they said with 10 episodes, and they said they were going to release the first 3 episodes the first week, that would have been actually a lot smarter. It would have been, if they were able to do that. Because just the way the 3rd episode ends, I think after people wouldn't have been as impatient to begin with, and you would have got to the meatier stuff a lot sooner.
Yeah, I agree. I think to
show that was an 8 or 7.5 for me, but I really can see a world where it could have been a 10, like, truly.
Yeah, I think that's the most disappointing thing, is that it was like, it was really so close to being on that Mount Rushmore of MCU projects, and instead it's just a really good one. It's just disappointing. It really could have been in that top 5 range.
It was gonna make it, man.
It was gunning for it, and it's in, like, I really like pretty much most of the MCU stuff. Pretty much all of it.
It's probably, like, just outside my top 10, honestly.
I have it ranked, I think, like 11th, 12th, 13th, around that area.
That sounds about right.
Probably, and then that's still really good. It's still a really good show. The show was still a massive success for Marvel on TV. It shows that, the MCU translates well to television. It's just now there are going to be lessons learned from this new format. There are going to be, like, think about it. I mean, Feige and co are brand new to doing TV shows, right? So now they have to kind of approach it a little bit differently than they approach movies, because you have to build an arc that sustains for 6 hours instead of 2.5, right? So it's just, there are going to be pacing lessons learned, like we learned here. I mean, think about it. The Marvel Netflix shows also had pacing issues as well.
It depends on the show. Some of them did not have any for me, honestly. But but some did. So, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, there are going to be lessons learned. WandaVision overall is a massive success. I'm actually very firm on 8. I think 8 is out of 10 is the perfect grade for this. I think, like, if you're going to give it a letter grade, a B to a B plus, around there,
is a good range. It just can't be in that A range because of these issues that we mentioned. You know, the Evan Peters stuff, while disappointing, it's not like a killer, but like it's just like it was just disappointing from a fan perspective, and just like
Just any perspective.
as a writer
Yeah.
myself, I wouldn't do it. Like it just felt like and the boner joke kind of fell flat for me as well. It was like, come on, we're doing dick jokes in WandaVision.
I don't care about the dick joke at all. I just care if they made a dick joke and he still ended up being important. I don't give two shits, but he was never important at all.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was just disappointing, but whatever. And I'm not running up a wall that Doctor Strange was in. I was just surprised. I think that's my reaction. I was just surprised, and I was kind of hoping we would get a cameo because like we were always told this is gonna lead right into Multiverse of Madness, and you could have assumed that Strange would have showed up. But like now that we see how it does lead into Multiverse of Madness. I think what you said about that after credit scene being part of Multiverse of Madness, I actually do think that's true. That scene is very cinematic. And
it doesn't look like a TV show scene at all.
It makes me think that that's part of Multiverse of Madness. So
I'd agree with that.
So that basically leads right into the movie. But like now, a question we need to answer in Doctor Strange 2 is where the fuck was Doctor Strange?
Yeah, that's a very important thing.
Where were you? This is literally your job. That is literally part of being the Sorcerer Supreme, is dealing with shit like Agatha Harkness and Wanda fighting in the middle of New Jersey.
I thought this would explain why he wasn't in Far From Home. Like, oh, well, he was doing this, so he was busy. But no, he wasn't here.
Timeline wise, Far From Home still isn't even like close to happening.
It's not. It's pretty close.
No. But well, it's like WandaVision is like a few weeks after Endgame, right? And then now Multiverse of Madness presumably is still a few weeks after Endgame. Spider-Man Far From Home doesn't take place until summer 2024, and Endgame is 2023. So Multiverse of Madness is 2023. WandaVision is 2023. Far From Home is 2024. So there's a while to go until Far From Home. So like
I
Doctor
guess.
Strange Multiverse of Madness. If I were to guess, maybe Multiverse of Madness takes place, has time jumps and shit. Maybe they like escape maybe they just like disappear for a while. Maybe they disappear for like 6-7 months or some shit. And like that's why Doctor Strange is unavailable, because he's like literally like he's not even in the same universe right now.
I mean, who even knows, man? I honestly don't know.
I wonder how like time moves throughout the multiverse if you're like in a world for a little bit and you come back. I wonder how. I think that would be a cool aspect to like look at. Like, you were in that universe for 10 minutes. Well, guess what? You were gone for 2 weeks. Shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck. No. But yeah, I'm a firm 8 out of 10. The Scarlet Witch costume looked great. The scenes with Vision and White Vision were great. Monica Rambeau talked to a Skrull, the engineer. That wasn't the engineer later.
No, but obviously the engineer was also a Skrull, though. We know that.
So Skrulls are. I've never gave two shits about Skrulls. I don't.
I'm not gonna lie. It feels like Monica Rambeau's character was just thrown into this show for the sake of setting up her in other projects. It did.
Her character actually lends itself well to this show because she experienced
a little
similar trauma to Wanda. So like to introduce her here was actually a pretty cool move, and it gave her powers as well, which is cool. But like I feel like that her arc could have been rounded off a little bit better with a few extra scenes of in that extra episode. But like overall, I really like her character. I'm actually like excited for Captain Marvel 2 because of Monica Rambeau, which is cool. It's like, oh wow, this character was really cool, and I want to see more of her. And hopefully, I I would assume that she would get like her own project eventually.
I mean, maybe that would be a Disney Plus show though, but
Yeah, that would be cool.
I'm not even sure
Yeah,
if that ever happens, but we'll see.
she was great.
She was very good. I liked her.
And obviously it's always fun to see Jimmy Woo, yada yada yada. The villains, Marvel is hit and miss with villains all the time. Agatha Harkness was great. That was a hit. I never really gave a shit about like the Hayward stuff, like the military stuff. Like Marvel seems to always have like a military subplot, and it's just
they had some throwaway characters in this show, to me, honestly.
And like most shows do, like it's very rare that a show like doesn't waste a few characters. But
like if I never see, I'm just glad probably never see him again.
I'm just glad that the characters that were thrown away were like characters that I just don't care about. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about Hayward. I don't care.
They kind of threw away Darcy.
Little bit, but like Darcy's a side character anyway.
I know, but you couldn't have invented it that way with her. There was no finality to that.
Yeah, she's hit him with an ice cream truck, which is funny that she's been driving home from when Vision left the car to go check on Wanda.
Yeah.
That was actually really funny. But I just wish that the side characters got more to do. Just like Monica escapes Evan Peters' room, shows up, and that's about her character. Yeah, she was just there for the cleanup. Really, she didn't participate. So just wish that those side characters were like they were rounded off a little bit better. But it still doesn't change the fact that Monica Rambeau was really cool, and that we're excited for her and Captain Marvel 2. And like Jimmy Woo deserves his own show. I think Darcy has really become a really cool side character, and I definitely want to see her in more stuff. And that's like the cool thing about this show is that some of those smaller side characters from previous MCU projects like Darcy and Jimmy Woo are getting like a lot of love, and like maybe they get their own projects now. Maybe they get something. Just give like Randall Park like that X-Files show.
Oh, who get that? You might get an Agents of Atlas type of show. I wouldn't be shocked at all.
Yeah, just like go for it. Why not? I mean, and like, yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the coolest things about the show. Overall, like I said before, I'm actually like very firm on 8 out of 10. I really think that's just like the perfect grade for this, just because
it could be. Yeah. It's for me. I'll stick 7.5 or 8. It's somewhere in that range, regardless. I wouldn't go any higher for sure. I can't go any lower. I can't
go any higher because pacing issues, characters getting thrown to the side. Yeah. So like this is not a perfect show. It's in the really good range. It's really good.
Yeah.
But could have stuck the landing better, obviously. But
definitely go watch it though. That's a show where everybody should watch.
Yeah, it's a really cool mystery. Good action at the end. Good study on grief. What Wanda's been through. What leads her to become ultimately the Scarlet Witch. Vision. The great emotional scenes at the end really saved this episode for me. Like I really loved the stuff between Vision and White Vision, but also between Wanda and Vision as the hex is closing in on them. Scenes between her and her kids. Thank you for letting me be your mom. Because in that moment she thinks they're gone forever. So like, that stuff was always really that really kind of ended the episode on a high note, in my opinion. Like that is just really good stuff there. And Vision is part of the Soul Stone. That Hex Vision was part of the Soul Stone that lives inside Wanda. which is, I mean, well, it was either the Mind Stone or the Soul Stone. I believe. I don't know. I get my stones mixed up. Sorry. But yeah, she's part of the stone. He's part of the stone that lives inside of her, which is actually pretty cool because it actually logically makes sense. Because like she's like a living Infinity Stone. So like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So yeah. Overall, 8 out of 10 for the show. This episode, I'm gonna give 6.5.
Yeah, I would go with the same score probably.
And it's like it's an okay finale. Could have been done better. I wish those extra scenes were kept in if they were finished in terms of like visual effects and shit. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to more from all of these characters. And if I don't know if there's going to be a second season. Like they said, there are no plans for a second season. But I actually would not mind going back in for a second season to really give the show, an extra kind of boost. But like maybe don't do a second season right away. Do it a few years from now or something. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited to see where everything goes. Obviously, this for me, I would say this is probably a limited series for sure. Like I don't see them picking this up at all.
My
Like
gut
Feige
says
made that
limited
pretty
series.
clear. Like if they ever were, it wouldn't be WandaVision anymore for sure. It'd be like another Wanda or Vision related project though. But then
Yeah,
it would be
just
at that
like
point it's not even the same thing though. So
give it like its own sequel that like it's not like directly a sequel to the show. It's just a sequel to the characters, really.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, and I wouldn't be shocked if we saw that.
I would love
Because
that.
I mean,
I would love that.
people love the characters, man. I
This
wouldn't be shocked if they
show
did it.
made us give a shit about Wanda, and like, let's be honest, not really, not many people really fully bought into Wanda for a
Yeah.
while because like she really was like more of a side Avenger. She wasn't
And
the Avenger that
I
was
always I always really like Vision, but now I love Vision. Like I went from
yeah,
really liking him to totally loving him.
exactly. Getting these 6 hours with these characters made us love them and the actors playing them. I think that's one of the biggest strengths of this show is like I love Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch. I
Yeah.
love Paul Bettany. Paul Bettany was hilarious throughout this show. We got to see Vision doing like a drunk magic show in the second episode. And it's great. It's great stuff. So, like, yeah, I mean, just yeah. I think that's just one of the biggest strengths. All the performances were top notch. Obviously, you wish it ended better. Fine. But I don't think. I feel like this show was a pretty amazing experience overall, and like I'm so pumped for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a much more simple thing.
That's why I expect this show to end up being like a 9 or 10. I expect this to be a 9 out of 10 at least, just because of the fact it's such a simple premise and Marvel has such good writers. To me, it's going to be a very, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, but basically into a show. And aside from that, though, they're going to really dive, and they've made this clear, deeper into the stories of Falcon and his struggles when he was younger, and that's going to be a very interesting thing to see on screen.
I'm really pumped. I think that this show, because I've actually really liked the character of Falcon, especially in like in Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah, there's just a lot more to learn about him.
It's just like exactly. It's like he told us his backstory when he was talking to Steve Rogers, but like we do have a lot to learn about him, like you said. I want to know, because you learn this
new
shit.
Cap.
You learn this shit. He's the new Captain America.
Yeah, you want to learn this stuff about him.
We need to learn exactly. We need to know, like, hey, what's this guy been? A lot like Wanda, because like Wanda's becoming a more prominent member of the MCU. So now we need to learn. We need to just kind of recap what she's been through, and now let's recap what Sam has been through. So I'm really pumped because I think that this show could make us care for Sam like 10 times more,
Oh, totally.
which
Like
is
right
really
now,
exciting.
I like him, but I don't like deeply care about him. I don't. I'm gonna be honest. Like, that's not me being like negative at all. It's just like we haven't really gone too deep into the
There are
personal
like
side of that
tiers
character
to
yet.
there were like tiers to who you gave a crap about. It's like
It's based on how
you
long they've been here and how deep have you gone into their story. Really, that's
Yeah,
all it is.
it's
Usually.
like everyone gave a shit about Captain America. Everyone
Of
gave a shit
course.
about Tony. People, like those were the main two guys that got all the love.
Yeah, like I'm sure in like a couple years, I'm gonna have a lot of new characters that I only liked before that I now will have a deep connection to because that's what time does. The longer you're with the characters, the more you care about them, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's just we're gonna we're gonna be with this character for 6 hours going
Yeah,
in starting next week. So like we got 6 hours with Sam and Bucky, and
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 Snyder cut.
and the Snyder cut, and also right after Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki comes out. So like Feige set us up the entire year, man.
Oh yeah, no, we're pretty set up right now. It's awesome, and I'm gonna be honest right now. Snyder cut. I'm more excited for that right now than I am for Falcon actually, and that says a lot because I am a bigger Marvel guy than I am a DC guy for sure in terms of content. But I can't lie, a lot of the stuff I've seen from the Snyder trailer excites me, and also I really want to do good because although the Snyder cult fans are very annoying, the haters can be just as annoying. Honestly, they
I
really
agree.
can be.
I agree.
Like does all the people say,
There
"Oh,
are people that legitimately
this
want
shot looks
this movie to
horrible.
suck.
Oh,
There,
this shot looks horrible. This thing looks horrible. Oh, Martian. Oh my God, he looks so bad." I'm like, dude, just shut up. I mean, some of these shots, even like because I saw some leak scenes and like the one shot with Cyborg where in the original trailer we saw where everyone was like, "Ooh, that looks weird." In context, it looks a lot better actually, for me at least.
I'm not gonna judge on like wonky screenshots
Hey, the
taken from like
screenshots
a.
don't tell much. It's about like the whole movement of the character in the moment.
Let me put this movie on my high definition TV, and I'll judge for myself. I don't and
Yeah.
like CGI is not the end all be all. As long as you're telling a good story, you could like live with
I mean, that was me
wonky
with
CGI.
that was also something I felt at the end of WandaVision too. I mean, some of the CGI was a little wonky, I'm not gonna lie, but I
I
didn't
mean,
care.
think about it this way. I'm a huge Spider-Man Homecoming fan. There are instances in which the Spider-Man costume, because they painted over it with CGI, doesn't look realistic, but it doesn't change the fact that
I didn't
overall.
really get bothered by it. I didn't really
It,
notice it too much, honestly, but
yeah, I noticed it, but like it doesn't. CGI doesn't like make or break a movie for me at all, as long as it's not like a fan film or something.
well, yeah, I mean,
It's like oh shit.
right
But
now it's basically the Snyder cut sounds like exactly what I want it to be because it's being described as like as like my friend who saw it, he described it as imagine if Tarantino directed a DC movie that was inspired by Lord of the Rings. And I was like, whoa, that's
cool.
like everything I love combined
Definitely
into.
does have a Lord of the Rings vibe to it.
Oh, it has the very grandiose, epic feel to it that Lord of the Rings would have, and I just from like what I've heard about the score, it sounds like it's going to be very similar in that regard too to Lord of the Rings. So
I
I
think
think
Zack Snyder's a Lord
he
of the
took a
Rings
lot of
fan.
yes, I think he definitely took a lot of
I'll tell you
influence from
why
it.
I think he's a Lord of the Rings fan, because remember the Man of Steel teaser trailer had
Uh-huh.
the Lord of the Rings song
Yeah,
as the
it's
thing.
right.
So we've had Lord of the Rings hints for a while, buddy.
And I mean, this even the Justice League was meant to be three
Holy
parts,
shit!
just like
Holy
Lord of the
shit!
Rings.
That was 9 years ago. Oh my god.
I know.
That teaser. Oh my god. I'm old. So is
Uh,
Henry Cavill, apparently.
ouch. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do, and I'm very interested to see what happens if this movie does really, really good, hypothetically. Because I'm going to be honest, fans are not going to. I know for a fact, the same thing's gonna happen. Not as in like they're definitely gonna pick up another movie, but I mean fans are gonna respond the same way, knowing that he has other movies that he planned but never got. I guarantee you.
Yeah, that would be too. I don't know if we're gonna get sequels. My gut says no. But like you said, what like we know that the Snyder fan base is rabid.
They're crazy.
So
Oh
like
yeah,
you're gonna get
they're
people
gonna come
doing
back.
like multiple rewatches. So like this viewership, I expect Snyder Cut to be the most viewed thing on HBO Max by far, and
Oh yeah.
and probably close to on par with WandaVision, just because that Snyder fan base is just rabid. So yeah, I won't put anything past him. But the question is like after all this shit, would Snyder even want to come back?
I think he would honestly, but he like have to come back under the right circumstances. And another big issue is how do you get all these actors back?
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't think Ben for wants to come back for sure.
Probably.
I
I'll say this: if he were to come back, Ben, at all, I think this is the only project he would consider because it's a project he already started, and if he knows the writing's good, and I think he likes working with Zach, he really would consider doing some more there, maybe. But like again, it'd have to be under the most perfect circumstances. Ben would have to really feel mentally okay with it. There's a lot of
Yeah,
variables that
he
go
looks
into
great.
it.
He looks
No, he
great
looks
right
great.
now.
He's doing very good,
So
but
so
you
like
got to keep in mind too. You got Henry Cavill, you got Gal Gadot. I mean, there's a lot of people you have to get back who may not be able to come back. I mean, the Ray Fisher situation too.
yeah, you know, I think Ray would come back because he loves Zach so much. So like maybe you just do it in like animated form or something. You know, make it a video
You
game, dude.
could, but it would lose its charm for me. I'm not
Mm.
gonna lie. I like animated stuff, but after starting it live action, I personally, if they were gonna continue, I would really need it to continue that
Yeah,
way.
it
And
would have to be like a perfect storm for people to come together and
yeah, it
yeah.
would just it's tough, but
I would want it to be an HBO Max thing where Snyder gets to make a movie as long as he wants as well.
I remember reading though that in the end, it's actually not up to WB if they do that. It's
Mm.
up to AT&T because they own WB, I believe.
Yes,
So
correct.
in the
Yeah.
end, if AT&T they're like, wow, this did really good. I mean, let's try doing the sequel. Then WB does not really have a choice. That's
Mm.
just the reality of it. They have to go for it. So in the end, that's the one thing that would give me slight hope. I still don't expect it, but that's the one thing that would make me think there's at least a chance because WB doesn't want it, but they do, and their say matters a lot more.
Mm. Yep. That's just a wait and see thing. Uh, you know, even if we don't get sequels, I'm just happy that we were
Oh,
getting this. You
it'd be
know.
a little sad just because I really do think, like, let's say this movie does great. I can't help but wonder what the full arc could have been. Just because I really do think it's going to be a very dark and gritty story it's going to present a lot of things that we never would have even imagined seeing. And that's what excites me because DC has really just been at a loss in their world. But I think this is going to be, I really do think this will be the best DCEU movie. And I think it's going to be a top 5 DC movie in general. If I had to give it a guess, if I had to guess right now, I really have a lot of faith in it.
Yeah. I think it'll be. I think it'll be okay. I don't expect to hate it, so that's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it'll at least be a fun time, just because like it's a 4 hour Justice League movie.
but even
I
so,
mean,
I think it's really just I think it's gonna be great, not just good. Like I have very high expectations, honestly, I do. But we'll see. But I think it's gonna be. We got to keep in mind too. I'm not in the minority, I would say, but I'm not with you on be a very differing opinions of BVS Ultimate Edition. Very differing opinions, but uh,
yeah,
that
you're not
may
changing
also.
my mind on that.
Oh, I don't care, but I stand by it. It's a good movie with some issues, but Man of Steel, both of those movies, I just like them. I don't love either of them. So that's kind of where I stand there. I think I'm gonna love Zack Snyder's Justice League though.
Yeah, I like Man of Steel, but like,
Yeah, it's a very good Superman movie for what Snyder was trying for Snyder's world. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't work in a lot of other places for me, but with this dark and grittier world Snyder's been building, yeah, that's probably the Man of Steel movie you needed. So he did the job.
yeah, yeah. I like that movie. I think I'm just excited to see it. I'm just excited to see what his vision was, because like that was the movie that we saw in theaters was a studio's vision
Yeah.
and not a director's vision,
And
it felt every bit like that.
And Ray Porter as Darkseid, dude, he sounds awesome. I have to get, I gotta say, like that's a scary dude.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to pick a fight with him.
No, he's done a very good job as Darkseid. I can tell already just from the one teaser we got. I'm very excited to see. I mean, he's not gonna have a huge role in this movie, but he's gonna have at least a decent amount of screen time though, because they're setting up what would have been him as a main antagonist in the next two movies. Which is crazy to think about that we could have got that. Oh my god, damn it! Now I'm sad. I really would love to see a full Darkseid as the main villain story with Ray Porter, man.
I agree. That would have been cool, but
It would have been
I'm
great.
glad with what we have. I hope for the New Gods movie they keep Ray. That'd be cool.
No, I think that'd be really awesome. I mean, it depends. I gotta see what because as of now, I think technically like the original Justice League is what's quote unquote canon, but I don't think that's gonna stay that way. It's not.
I think like, Patty Jenkins said like
it's what the fans think.
They don't really the directors don't even like really consider that canon.
Yeah, so I mean, really, it's gonna be Zack Snyder's that everyone knows is canon, even if the studio never says it themselves. So
they don't have to acknowledge it. They just
we know. We all know.
Your movie stunk, so we're gonna roll with this better movie. Even if it's a total mess, it's still better than what we got in theaters. Like it's just that movie.
This is crazy, but they actually even cut some stuff from this movie, even with the 4 hours and 2 minutes.
Yeah, they cut. No, it was like a 5-hour cut. So like they cut like an hour from
the reason why they cut some stuff is because some of it was setting up other movies that never happened, or at least didn't happen in the way that they were supposed to. Like, he was probably supposed to set up like a very different type of Aquaman movie, for example, that never happened because James Wan ended up getting it, and he went for more of a lighter and brighter tone, which was cool. I like that, but my point is that's not what I don't think what they were originally gonna do though.
Yeah.
So they took out some stuff for that reason.
Wait, are you suggesting that Zack Snyder won't do a light and bright Aquaman movie?
Yes.
Wow. I would never have guessed.
But he did leave in the tease for what would have been Ben Affleck's Batman movie, though, which is crazy.
Fucker. Yeah. I do wish we got that movie, but,
I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm going to just pray.
That one would be really cool to put in, like, an animated form.
It'd be, again, I still want it live because I want to see Ben Affleck in the suit. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I got to see him just doing his thing at Arkham Asylum. And
it's just all about...
That's what it's about.
I feel like in a lot of ways they can I think we've reached a point now where we can have multiple Batman, multiple Superman.
Absolutely. We're at that point. I mean,
we've reached that.
We're gonna get Spider-Man too.
Like people don't get confused really. Like,
we legitimately might end up having like 3 different Spider-Man franchises happening at the same time between Peter in the MCU, Miles Morales, and I think we're gonna get a Toby or Andrew continuation, honestly. So you might be getting 3 different ones all at once.
Yeah, I don't like. We've reached the point where we don't need to, fuck around. If Ben wants to come back and do his script,
let him
via an HBO Max series.
Yeah, I don't care where
or film. I would put it on HBO Max to just avoid. Having, kind of getting in the way of, the other Batman movie
And
as
not even
well.
just that. I don't even care about that. I would say that it's also just good to promote the service, honestly, because I mean,
Yeah, can you
it
imagine an exclusive Batman show or movie for HBO Max?
exactly with Ben Affleck
That
starring. Like, come on, that would make the world explode.
that really hikes you up in the competition against the other services.
Oh yeah,
Because everyone loves comic books now. So
totally.
I think that's just a good move. And like after Zack Snyder's Justice League, we got, like I said before, I think we have Loki and we have the What If series. Are there any series coming late this year?
Wait, say that again.
Are there any series coming late this year? Like any Marvel
Yes,
series?
yes,
Which ones? Do you remember?
yes. We have at the very end we have Hawkeye and Miss Marvel.
Oh, okay. Well, those Hawkeye reviews are going to be something, aren't they?
I think the show is gonna be interesting to discuss with you, Tom.
I think you are right. I think that it's going to be a hell of a time. And it's going to be a great time in my life in which, for, what are these shows? 6 hours? Then you just skip the parts with Jeremy Renner and the dog. No, actually, I'll keep the dog. Uh, you just got yourself, some time to see your celebrity crush playing a Marvel superhero, and it's life. But yeah, no, I'm kidding. That show is gonna be awesome, anyways. I actually, I'm looking forward to the plot as well.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to the plot. The plot seems fun. I like the idea of seeing Clint lose his hearing, and like
Oh yeah, that's great.
yeah, and if I remember correctly, it takes place in 2024. It takes place like right around when Spider-Man No Way Home, those set photos are taking place around Christmas time. So like they're both roaming around New York, Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, and Spider-Man at the exact same time, which is hilarious to think about. That they both have big plot lines happening all at once during that time. But yeah, and then you said that we also have Miss Marvel coming late this year as well, and we've seen some set photos, and I'm excited for that show. I just I don't know I don't know like I haven't seen any footage in a while of it, so like I can't like give you or like I haven't seen many set photos either. I just like I've seen a few, but like it feels like every day we get like Hawkeye photos.
Yeah, those come up quite a bit. So,
I have no complaints.
and very shortly they start filming on Moon Knight and She-Hulk within the next like week or two. So
Hell yeah.
fun.
Hell yeah, I love that. I love the idea of She-Hulk, to be honest.
Moon Knight is like the top of my anticipated list right now, man. I love that character, and just having Oscar Isaac in that role is so sick, man.
That is pretty dope.
That's gonna be a special show, I think.
Ethan Hawke playing the villain, who's like,
Oh, I
he's a
forgot
very
about that.
distinguished actor's actor. Like, he is.
He's one of those A-list actors that people forget about.
He's like an actor's actor bordering on pretentious. Like he's one of those. He's a thespian.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see him get like that Marvel must have written something good for him to join because he does not like superhero shit.
Uh-huh.
And one of the main reasons he said he signed on is because of Oscar Isaac, which is funny. So like you get like two awesome actors for the price of one just by hiring Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
And having Oscar Isaac play an MCU character. Yeah, let's do that. So yeah, I'm pumped, man. This is a great time. I mean, I think we just rattled off like six shows that Marvel's doing. That 7 actually. That Marvel's been doing. So like, goddamn, man. Like,
No, there's a lot.
like this is gonna be like crazy, man. Like this entire show is set for like over a year, which is just hilarious. And like we didn't even mention like On DC side, we got the Batman coming out. Flash is coming out. Suicide Squad's coming out. Yada yada yada. There's a lot of shit going on. My wallet is gonna be hurting.
Oh, mine too.
Yeah, but I'm pumped, man. This is crazy. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think I'm good. My voice is wearing out, so I think we'll call it here.
Same here. I'm getting squeaky. So.
Well, this has been fun as always, Tom. But until next time, this has been another great episode of Cape Time. I'll see you, everybody.
Peace.